Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully leg. And just through the spirit, I was just meditating. Pursuing Isaiah 14. As it says, is this the man? Because Esau has tricked the whole world into thinking that he's the Most High, and soon the Lord or the world is going to find out that Esau, he's nothing but a man. You see, I'm going to start off with this real quick in Ezekiel 39, verse 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their power. From that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they transgressed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. All right. You see, with that being said, because again, I was meditating on this, there's going to come generations. There's a generations that's going to be born in the kingdom. All right. And though we're living this reality out now, all right, as far as being under subjection to Esau, being under subjection to Esau, you see the condition that we're in, right? Brothers catch a hell, all right? Like I said, everyone thinks that the so-called white man is like God, right? And I was meditating because having these type of conversations or these discussions, almost like a what do you call it? Like a campfire story, right? So to say, because like I said, though we're living this reality out now, being under subjection to the so-called white man, being subject to payments. Listen, there's gonna come a time, like I said, generations, all right, where telling these stories, these accounts, that's going to be a far-fetched thing to believe. It's going to appear far-fetched to our generation, to the generations to come. And Thawadi Bashem Shai, it's like him across the street. But Thawadi Bashem Shai, because it works, the faith, first and foremost, the works, the acts of those elect men, all right, is setting the stage up for the future generations to come. And it reminds me of King David, right? King David, how he set the stage, which King David's kingdom was symbolic, as well as King Solomon. Both those kingdoms, both those times, were a small prelude, so to say, symbolism of the kingdom to come. Because what did King David's kingdom symbolize? It symbolized having the nations under subjection. You see, and although King David wanted to, build a temple for the Lord, but nevertheless, King David's hands were too bloody. All right. But nevertheless, everything that King David did, it set up, because again, he was a man of war, kingdoms being under subjection and whatnot. Well, that set the stage, that set the precedent for King Solomon, because King Solomon, another symbolism of our kingdom is going to be peace, no war, So everything that King David did, it set the stage for King Solomon. All right. You know, and that's just one of the main examples, because you got certain examples like such as, and that's the spirit, because there's a precept that comes to mind in Daniel 11, which Lord one I'm going to get. All right. Because I was using an example like King David set the stage for King Solomon, where you have examples like Philip the Macedonian, which was the father of Alexander the Greek. All right. Another example of, because Philip, he pretty much did the same thing. You know, he set the stage, the president for Alexander the Greek. You know, he did the same thing. You know, but there's a difference. All right. There's a difference. But I'm gonna get this, because again, like I said, we're living this reality now, being subject to payments, catching hell. But these are the very accounts that we're going to be telling our offspring, our generations. And it's going to be hard to believe, because of course everything's going to, you know, in the kingdom, everything's going to be good. You know, that's the seed, our seed after us, man. They're not going to, you know, have to experience this, what we experience. So, and that's the thing, you know, another thing I was meditating on, because everything is returning to its original origins. You see, the nation of Israel is coming up. Esau's kingdom is going down, where he belongs. All right, on the bottom. You know, we get a few precepts. I'm gonna start off with this in Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20 and verse 7. The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. Because like I said, Lord wanted what that number. We're setting the stage, the said president. We're setting the stage for the kingdom to come, for our posterity, our generation after us. You see? Because again, having these conversations with like I said, sort of like a campfire, you know. And, you know, you're telling those stories around a campfire, right? Because imagine telling to your offspring, telling to your generation, you know, the generations after you, that, you know, those that come from our loins, our sons and our daughters. Imagine telling them that, yeah, we were subject to the so-called white man. You know, imagine telling them that. You know, like, yeah, at one point, this nation of people, and all the nations for that matter, but especially Esau, Edom, yeah, at one point we were subject to these, you know, peasants. It's going to be a far-fetched thing for the generation, you know, our generations after us. It's going to be a far-fetched thing for them to believe that, you know. It's going to seem far-fetched. It's going to seem impossible, because of course we're going to be set back up in power. All right. You know. And since I mentioned that posterity, which leads me to Daniel 11. Daniel 11, and I'll start at 1. Also in the first year of Darius the Mede, stood to confirm and strengthen him. And by the way, you know, this chapter, because you got people out there that think that this already took place, when that's not the case. All right, I'm sorry. People mistake this chapter as a future event, future prophecy, when this already took place. All right. Yeah, this chapter already happened. All right. But Daniel 11 and 2. And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia, and a mighty king shall stand up that shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom. So yeah, verse 4 is the point. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and he shall be divided toward the four winds of heaven, and not to his posterity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up even for others beside those. Now, when you go into this, and I wanted to use this example through the Spirit, because with all this talk of basically America is crumbling from the inside out. All right. And when you go into this, what this is going into Alexander the Greek. All right. It's going into Alexander the Greek. And, for those that know the history, the account when Alexander came down with that illness. All right. And how he was pretty much rotten from the inside out, which can be symbolic for America. All right. But the point I wanted to get was, because it mentioned how his kingdom shall be divided toward the four winds of heaven, and not to his posterity. All right. Because when you go into the history, those riches, pretty much it wasn't passed down to, because when you go into that posterity, it goes into your offspring, the generation to come, your sons and your sons' sons, your sons' sons. That wasn't the case for Alexander the Greek. All right, it was the spoils were divided to the four generals. You see, because again, that's why I read that Proverbs 20. Because I'm gonna get another one. Because again, just imagine, having those conversations, with your offspring. Like, yeah, these people at one point in time, they were over us. We were subjected to these people. I can imagine that being something just like, no way, that being something that's hard to believe. Because of course, again, in the kingdom, everything's going to be put back in its rightful place, in its rightful order. And that includes the nations, and especially Esau. That's why I quoted pursuant to Isaiah 14. Is this the man? Because the whole world's going to find out. Like I said, man, the whole world's going to find out that this man, and that's why these nations, man, they're really going to be whooping Esau's ass. Because of course it was all set up through the Spirit, It was the Lord's program, all right? But even the nations, once the Israelites are set back up in power, which is going to be for the well-being of the world, even including the nations, because you see, man, being under Esau's captivity, under his rigorous rulership, man, it's not going to be like this in the kingdom. Because after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, the nations, they're going to be able to, do their thing. They're going to get their plot of land, their inheritances and whatnot. They're going to be able to do their thing, live their lives. They're just going to pay tribute, That's pretty much it. They're just going to have to pay tribute. You see? And there will be a time, like I read that Ezekiel 39, man, that this what we go through, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, what we go through. This was just our punishment. All right. This is just something that we had to go through because we sinned against our power. And the time's going to come. Even the nations are going to, realize that, man, this is how it's supposed to be. And with that being said, that's why I said, man, these nations, man, they're going to really put their foot in Esau's ass, man. Because the nations, Esau's convinced these nations Esau convinced these nations to keep us on the bottom, man. Esau convinced these nations to touch the apple to the Lord's eye. You see, but when they realize, like, man, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be. They're gonna be whooping Esau's ass, man. Again, is this the man who made the world to tremble, turned the whole world into a wilderness, so on and so forth? You see, but again, even with that, man, that time's gonna come when Esau, he's gonna be in his natural state where he belongs, on the bottom of the bottom. You see, a pile of shit is gonna have more value than Esau, Edom, man. The Edomites, a pile of shit is gonna have more value than Edomites, man. Matter of fact, let me turn around, Slakia. So, like I said, man, imagine having those type of conversations with your offspring, right? You see, because our posterity is going to be blessed, but Esau's posterity is going to, it's going to be a curse, I'm going to go to Psalm 109. Psalm 109. I'm going to start at verse 9. Psalm 109 and 9. Let his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. So you see, man, Esau, he's going to return to his natural estate in the kingdom. All right. Well, we're set back up in power. All right. And everything is the way that it's supposed to be, right? Hey, because again, listen, the generations to spring forth out of us, they're not gonna have to experience this. They're not gonna be subject to payments or any of this. So that's why I keep making a point, like, man, those conversations, like, man, it's like, damn, pops, like, for real, y'all used to be enslaved. Y'all used to be slaves to to Ishashua. Y'all used to be enslaved to these people. Hey, they use our people as gator bait and doormats and things of that nature, man. And this is the real retribution that we're seeking, the real reparations that we're seeking. All right. Dominionship, rulership, our get back, which is coming, it's coming. But of course, everything's going to be done in righteousness, all right? Yeah, we're going to do everything that they did to us, but in righteousness. We're not going to be buck breaking their men or nothing like that. Everything's going to be done in righteousness. But it says, let the extortioner catch all that he has, and let the stranger spoil his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. So you see, man, verse 13, let his posterity be cut off. And that's why, I use that example in Daniel 11. All right, because again, with Alexander the Greek, which could, be a representation in a way for America, crumbling, rotten from the inside out. And like I read in Daniel 11, all right, the kingdom was divided, but it wasn't parted to his posterity, his seed. It wasn't given to his children, his offspring. You see? So like I said again in verse 13, let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. So you see, the same thing was done to us, It was the same thing was done to us. You see? I'm going to get another one. It's Psalm 112. Psalm 112 and 1. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. So you see, because like I said, Lord, one of our number, what we're doing, all right, like King David with King Solomon, Like I mentioned with Philip the Macedonian, the father of Alexander the Greek, the same thing that he did for his son. Lord willing, we're setting that precedent for our generations to come. You know, our posterity is going to be blessed. Our seed is going to be blessed. You see, and like I said, I was just thinking, I was just imagining, you know, that's what sparked me to do this. You know, it's like, man, those conversations. You know, like, damn, Pops, what did y'all do for the Lord to get this upset? You know, like, damn. Right? Like, Abba, what did y'all do? Like, ain't no way. You know, it's going to be hard to believe for our generation, our offspring. It's going to be hard for them to believe. But yeah, at one point, you know, we were subjected to we were under subjection to these Edomites, you know. Because then again, just imagine, you got to picture it, you got to see it, visualize it. You know, Esau, he's going to revert, like I said earlier, everything's returning to its original origins. And that includes Esau, you know, like you read in Job, how this man, he was grunting and, you know, on all fours and shit, man, just a dirty bastard. Just a filth, just, you know, and he's feeling that now, you know. You know, this is why, hey, Esau more and more, he's starting to, you know, feel the squeeze. He's starting to feel what it feels like to be a nigger. But I always make the point, because Esau, he was the original nigger anyways. You know, he was the original nigger anyway. So welcome home, you bitch, you bastard. Welcome home. Welcome back. This is where he's supposed to be, regardless. So again, just imagine having these conversations. All right. You know, with your sons and your sons' sons and your sons' 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 sons, all right, to the 100th power, man. Imagine having these conversations, right? While they're, you know, Edomites around and, you know, crawling around, running around like roaches and shit. Like, damn, Abba, y'all, man. You know, I can see, you know, it being hard to believe. You know, like it's going to be a hard concept to fathom. Like, yeah, we were under subjection at one point, yeah. You know, but that's why I read that Ezekiel 39, because the world's going to find out. The nations are going to know that, you know, it was because we went off. We sinned. You know. So just a few words, you know, something I was thinking about, you know. Dua Yahweh Shema Shai. Because again, you know, I like to reiterate points sometimes. You know, the Spirit has me repeat myself to reiterate points. Because Lord willing, what we're doing now is setting our foundation, is setting the precedent for the kingdom. Lord willing, what our number, starting with Yahweh Shai first and foremost. All right, we're setting that precedent. You know, Lord willing, man. But hopefully this is edifying. All praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to you. Hopefully elect.